Hello and welcome back to NAS Compares. And today I want to talk about a brand new Synology. I want to talk about the DS1618 Plus. Okay, so this brand new Synology, this 6-bay device, it's not their first 6-bay, particularly in the 2018 series. Late last year we saw about the DS3018XS, kind of an enterprise high IOPS level NAS device, but this is utilising the same chassis but for a much more mainstream flagship NAS. Now those that are familiar with the 1517 and the 1817 Plus series will know that Synology does have a history of these sorts of NASs. These are designed, they can support a lot of things like Plex and multimedia, but they're pretty much designed for business use, SMB kind of stuff, small home business, photo, video editor, that sort of thing. Now, those devices, a 5 and an 8-bay device that came previously, they've kind of kept the tradition of the 5 and the 8-bay. Every 2 years or so, and there was the 13, the 15 and then the 17 series last year, and they've always got Intel Atom-based CPUs of one shape or form. This new device also has an Intel Atom, but it's a newer series of Intel Atom. I think it's the C3538. I know it's going to be down there at the bottom of the screen. And this is a quad-core 2.1 GHz CPU. It also arrives with 4 GB of DDR4 memory that can be boosted, upgraded I should say, across 2 slots to 32 GB. Now, this device is kind of in line with that 5-bay and that 8-bay, insofar as it's got 4 LAN ports there on the rear, it's got a PCIe upgrade card slot there that lets you install 10 GB or even 40 GB cards, and you have their own 10, and of course there are unofficial 40 GB cards that you can install inside this device, but on top of that, you can install some of their M2 SSD cards. Now, the M2D17 last year was a dual M2 SSD upgrade card from Synology, is completely compatible with this device. On top of that, they've got a brand new card coming, and that is the M2D18, and this is an NVMe SSD based upgrade card. So right now the only NAS out there that has NVMe SSDs built into it is the 918 Plus, but just like QNAP, Synology are now releasing an NVMe upgrade card, so it would be great to get an idea about the performance differences between these two devices. But this new device, the 1618 Plus here, this 6-bay, is going to have a PCIe slot, so you're going to be able to add that feature, which luckily means you're not going to have to pay for that feature from the outset. Now, there's no confirmed price or release date on this device, but I will go as far as to say that I think the price is going to live somewhere between the 5 and the 8-bay. And I know that seems obvious, but take my word for it, I think it's going to live there in the middle. It's got that CPU, that Intel Atom inside, which I know a number of you are going to be a little bit about, but you've got to think that's the way the range has developed, regardless of any of the stuff that went on in the past regarding that CPU. Just brush over that, because they've got past that, and moreover, the 5 and the 8-bay in the long run have proven their worth. They have proven to be very solid, robust NAS solutions, and this 6-bay is going to sit there lovely and in the middle there. So now Synology have got a 2-bay, they've got a 4-bay, they've got a 5-bay, they're going to have a 6-bay and an 8-bay. Don't know what happened to the 3 or the 7. Go see QNAP for that sort of stuff. They're the ones that cover that kind of stuff on the gamut. But this device is going to be available in the same chassis, as I say, as the DS3018XS. If you want to see how this device compares with the other 6-bay device, then do go into the comments to the link to NAS Compares, because down there we've got a few comparison of the specs between these two devices. That, I think it was £1,200 NAS, and how it compares with this one that I think is going to be about $700 to $750 on the outside without that, and of course without hard drive media. The device itself is also compatible and can be connected to the Synology expansion, the DX517, and you can attach 2 of them via the eSATA, the proprietary SATA connection on the rear, meaning there's your 16 there. It's 6 plus 5 plus 5 equals 16. The device itself has also got USB 3, but of course these are more for external devices and they're not going to be utilising any kind of direct communication capacity. But this device should arrive with full support of DSM 6.1 and of course 6.2 when it's out of beta. So you are talking virtualization, you're talking the CRM and the CMS systems, you're talking video station with transcoding. Again, no confirmation on 4K support from this CPU. CPU benchmark do rate it, I think somewhere in the 2000s, but again, multimedia support. It's playback 4K certainly, but 4K transcoding, not so much. But in terms of Synology's app support, both first and third party, you're going to be looking at some great stuff. This can utilise Plex Media Server applications. It can run Synology Chat, Synology Office, Synology Drive, Synology Docs. All of the Synology moments and more applications, as well as surveillance, with the device arriving with 2 IP camera licenses and supporting, I believe, 40 or more IP cameras if it's anything like that 5 and the 8 bay. But we're still waiting on more confirmation on this, and as soon as we know more, of course, we'll let you know. Don't forget to subscribe and click like, and of course, if you want to find out where to get hold of this device, do go into the comments where there's the link that should take you through to span.com to get hold of your NAS and start reserving this for you. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions about this device, then do visit NAS Compares below and see it through to there. And there's a lovely inquiry and free advice section. Give it all a go. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.